Hello everyone, my name is Mara Lampago. Today I will be discussing about digital self. So let me first read the objectives. At the end of this lesson, the student should be able to A. Discuss about online identity and yourself and cyberspace and user ID. B. Expound selective self-presentation and impression management. And lastly is to evaluate the impact of online interaction on the self. In today's digital age, technology has become widely used, along with the various digital platforms that shape how people engage. As a result, where individuals develop their identity and build their digital self in the online world. So, what is really is digital self? It says here that digital self it is the persona you use when you're online. So the personality or character on how will you present yourself or how will you show it online. Your digital self is then another version of you that exists in the digital world. It can be very close to your real life persona or it can be a more improvised version of yourself that you want others to see it online. Another thing, digital self is like a mask that we put on to engage the technological world. So when we enter or interact in the technological world, we often wear a digital mask. So this mask represents the version of ourselves that we choose to show it online. Sometimes it hides certain parts of who we truly are and show only the things that we want others to see. The term online identity implies that there is a distinction between how people present themselves online and how they do offline. We are living in a digital age and other than face-to-face interaction. We have interaction involving technology like cellular phones, computers, and other gadgets. Thus, we build our digital self. So, what is your identity online? Can it be a different from who you really are, from who you are online? The way you act online is different from how you behave or see in real life. So some people use this to become more confident online, while others carefully manage their image to fit in social expectation. So as technology continues to develop and become part of our everyday lives, our digital self also become part of our identity. So through social media and online interaction, we can express ourselves in a way that differ from our face-to-face situation. Online identity and self in a cyberspace. Your online identity is not the same as your real-world identity because the characteristic you represent online differ from the characteristic you represent in the physical world. So every website you interact with has its own idea of your identity because of which one you visit sees you and your characteristic differently. So your identity is the way you represent yourself in a cyberspace. So a cyberspace it refers to the virtual environment where people communicate and interact through technology, such as on social media and other digital platforms. So while your real-world identity is who you are in real life, this cannot be the same how you show your characteristic online. How do you build your online identity? So every website that you interact with will collect its own version of who you are based on the information that you have shared. That is up to you on how will you represent yourself as closely as who you are and what you do in real life, or selectively, to create a representation far from your real life. So you build your online identity through the information you share and the way you act on a different digital platform. So each platforms create an image of you based on what you share. Selective self-presentation and impression management. So these are characteristics showing behaviors designed to convey an image about ourselves to other people and to influence the perception of other people of this image. We can select only what we want to present and impress to others, what we view beneficial to our personality, especially when we create a digital self. We carefully choose a representation or expression of one's real world to the online world. So it means that selective self-presentation means we carefully choose what parts of ourselves we show to other people, especially in online. We do not share everything about our lives. Instead, we highlight the some parts of us that make us look good or that represent how we want others to see us. Now, this connect to the impression management, the way it's control or influence other people perceive. In a simple term, we manage the impression we leave on others. Impact of online interaction on the self. When interacting with other people, we automatically make inference about them without even being consciously aware of it. We cannot help but ponder what they are thinking about, what their facial expression means, and what their intentions are, and so on. This suggests that their interaction with human partners requires more emotional involvement and does more cognitive effort than interacting through a computer. Online interactions do not require cognitive or emotional involvement, making our interaction with is much easier. Without realizing it, we always try to understand other people. We observe their tone of voice, their gesture, and their facial expressions. This means that real life interaction requires not only talking but also thinking and feeling at the same time. We become emotionally involved and mentally active because we are trying to understand the person in front of us. While we interact online through chats, messages, or social media, it feels different. We don't always see facial expression or hear tone of voice. Because of this, online communication is often easier, require less emotional effort. So we can reply faster, think less about immediate reaction, and sometimes even express ourselves more freely. However, this also means that online interaction may reduce emotional and cognitive involvement to face communication. In simple terms, we don't spend as much mental effort trying to read emotion or intentions because we cannot clearly see them. For example, if someone replies, okay, in a chat, we might not know if they are happy, upset, or just busy. But in real life, we could easily understand their mood through their expression and tone. So, in conclusion, in today's digital world, our identity is no longer limited to who we are in real life, but also includes who we become online. The digital self shows how technology allows us to express ourselves, connect with others, and shape how we are seen by the world. However, while online spaces give us freedom to create and manage our image, this also reminds us to be responsible and authentic user of technology. So, as learners and digital citizens, we must understand that our online actions reflect our real character. So, therefore, building a positive, respectful, and truthful online identity is important because the digital world is now a permanent part of who we are. That's all for my report. Thank you for listening.